Oh boy, it's that time, college application season. Welcome to this exciting time of your life where you get to prepare for where you spend your post-high school education career. There's a lot to do at this time, so take things one at a time and make sure that you understand each and every step. That's where we come in. Now, before you even start drafting anything, or even dare to look at essay prompts, you must get your paperwork in order. Make sure you have access to your current high school transcript, which you will work to have submitted to colleges of all types. Create a list of activities you have participated in, so that you know which extracurriculars to talk about in your applications, contact information for references, and anything else you think you'd need to start your application process. Make sure you have everything in front of you, including your up-to-date college list. As you get your paperwork together, work through the checklist created for you by From Nest to Wings. You can access this list by clicking on the link in the description below the like button. The list will help you make sure you have everything ready as you start to fill in your applications. Now that you have your paperwork in line, review the application process for each college you're applying to. Double-check each college's website to ensure you know all the steps and requirements. Some schools might have additional essays or specific forms you need to fill out, so it's important to double-check so you don't make a mistake. This is the next important step that will take some time, so pay attention. References. Choose people who can speak to your strengths, whether it be academic or athletic, or through a position of leadership you have been involved in. They can be a teacher, employer, coach, etc. A reference cannot be a family member or friend. Here's a polite example of how to ask for a reference. Hi, insert name. I hope you're doing well. I'm applying to colleges now and I would be honored if you could write me a letter of recommendation. You have been a great mentor to me, especially during a specific class or activity, and I believe your insight would be invaluable to my application. Would you be willing to provide a reference for me? Make sure to ask them early, confirm that they can provide a reference, and provide them with any necessary information they might need, such as deadlines, submission location, and specific points you'd like them to mention. Also, have options for who else you can ask in case. The cherry on top for this part of the process is writing your reference a thank you letter after. Keep things organized. Calendar your application dates, and set reminders for them in advance. These are hard set deadlines. You cannot miss them. Review your college list regularly. Make sure you have all the necessary information and that you're comfortable with submitting your applications. Pro tip, include application links on your college list for easy access. Okay, so by now you should have gotten all of your deadlines in order and have all your paperwork set up, and you're ready to start. You can build momentum by filling in the demographic information on the application, like your name, address, etc. Fill in your activities and any other of the answers that involve providing information on your accomplishments. Not only will you get a good feeling getting started, the application tracker will let you know that you have completed X% of the application, allowing you to see your progress. Then we move into the longer form answers. Let's start with the Common Application Essay. This will serve as your personal essay, which will be sent to every university that uses the Common App. Universities that use other hosts will require a personal essay from that host. But for now, let's break down one of the prompts from this year's application cycle. Question 1. Some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. Think of that one thing that makes you, you. The thing you partake in along with your academics. The thing that you may be known for. The thing that you've been doing since you were little, whatever it may be. If you can instantly think of something along those lines, this prompt may be for you. And if you can't, that's all good because there are 6 more prompts to choose from, the last one being an open-ended prompt. Consider how this one thing makes you feel. Has it changed you? Has it impacted your personality or the way you interact with others? Take the time to reflect on how this idea shapes you as a person and how you will be in the future as a student. Every university formats their writing prompts differently, but it is important to know the basic kinds of responses and how they differ from each other. First, the long-form essay response. This response is typically the longest in length and the prompt which requires you to think the deepest. This is your chance to showcase your personality, experiences, and aspirations. Start by brainstorming ideas that reflect who you are and what you care about. Once you have a topic, outline your thoughts to ensure a clear structure. Write your first draft, then refine it. Make sure to proofread and get feedback from teachers, parents, or friends. Remember, the long-form essay response is typically the gold star of all the responses they require, so really put your best foot forward for this one. The second type of essay response is the short answer response. These are more surface-level questions, and the length of the response is short, but that doesn't change the fact that you should take time and craft your responses with intention. Be concise with your words while also remaining impactful. Highlight specific experiences or qualities that complement your main essay without repeating the same information. Next up, we have the supplemental essays. While not every college has supplemental essay requirements, each university that utilizes these exercises has different supplemental essay prompts, so expect to write about a lot here. Pro tip: if there is overlap between prompts of different schools, there will most likely be at least some overlap, you can double dip your responses from one school to another. Obviously, if you do that, tweak the response to fit the school's prompt appropriately. Use these essays to demonstrate your interest in the college and how you'd be a great fit. Again, outline, draft, and proofread each one. So these are the key types of responses for your college applications. Now, the hard part. What to write about. What are you trying to communicate about yourself? And how does this thing you are trying to communicate about yourself align with what the prompt is asking? Your writing should provide a clear picture of who you are, what you value, and what drives you. Think about the main message you want to convey and ensure that your essays consistently reflect that. Take those ideas and write. Once you have made a draft, take a second, step back, and think. What does your writing actually say? Sometimes what we mean to communicate doesn't come across the way we want it to. Read your essays critically and ask others to do the same. Make sure your writing aligns with your intended message. I find reading them out loud to be very helpful. If the words jive with your voice reciting them, you're golden. Lastly, and probably the most important point, the reason I bring this up is because when I was applying to schools, I began to fall into this cycle and had to have someone give me a wake-up call. Don't tell the application readers what you think they want to hear, because A, you're probably wrong and you don't know what they want to hear, and B, what they actually want to hear is your story. This is your narrative, your story to tell. Think about it from their perspective. If they read thousands of essays all saying the same thing, who are they going to accept? Certainly not everyone. These admissions readers know when you are trying to fit your essay response into this perfect cookie-cutter mold. They want authenticity. They want your molded version of the story. They want your perspective, takeaways, and reflections. Remember, your application needs to reflect who you are and where you are going. Tell the truth, be candid, don't oversell yourself to try and stand out. It's the way you describe your takeaways from your experiences which will make you stand out. Writing your applications is a significant part of the college process, but it's also an opportunity to reflect on your journey and express your unique story. So, you've got everything you need in order, you've started completing your application, and now you're writing your responses. That is probably the hardest part. Where do you even start? What is the difference between all the response types? Before moving into the fun stuff of writing your essays and all, you must know and prepare for application fees. Most colleges require a fee to submit applications. Have a form of payment ready or see if you can access fee waivers or a kind of fee-related scholarship you can apply for. Also, if your state does a free application day of sorts, prepare your application to submit on that free day. Also, remember to check each component of your applications. This is important if you are using different application hosts, as some schools use different ones, such as the Common App, Coalition, or HBCU. Each host asks for relatively the same information, but make sure to double check and not assume that since one host asks for something, the other will as well. Now, let's write those essays. Certain colleges will have a strict essay prompt, while others will allow you to choose a prompt from the ones they provide. If you get to choose a prompt, think about which one resonates with you. Which prompt brings a story or experience of your life to mind so you can reflect on it in the essay. Start drafting an outline and then fill it in as you go. Maybe you're only able to narrow the prompt list options down to 2 instead of 1. Make an outline for both and see which one feels right. If you're still stuck, have a second pair of eyes skim your outline and offer insights. Planning your application is crucial. Think about how you can highlight different aspects of your experiences and strengths. Use your application to tell a well-rounded story about who you are. Make sure each part of your application, from the essays to the activity list, contributes to this narrative. Okay, great. Outline the essay prompt that resonates with you the most. What does that even mean? What kinds of things should you mention, especially if it asks you to only highlight a few or finite number of experiences that relate to the prompt? Focus on the activities that have had the most impact on you and where you've had significant accomplishments. Quality over quantity is key. Highlight leadership roles, unique experiences, and anything that shows your passion and dedication. While prioritizing the activities can be challenging, having a ranking ready to go will make the application writing process much simpler. When choosing which activities to write about in your essays, know that you don't have to just stay limited to the activities you have listed in the section of the application, where you simply list and describe them. This can help you demonstrate your qualifications, especially ones that you maybe didn't have room to list within the application, and shows the impact they have had on you. On that note, the experiences you talk about in your essays don't have to be the ones you would put on your resume either. They can be any kind of life experience that helped you grow, something that you think could help describe what you are working to become. Something that changed the trajectory of the way you approached something, etc. For instance, taking care of family after school, working on a farm, or doing a job that requires a lot of time and effort. Now you might be wondering if there are any kinds of resources you will have for this portion of the process, specifically artificial intelligence. There is a good balance between properly utilizing AI versus abusing its power. You can ask AI to spell check, give suggestions, and edit here and there. You can even ask AI to analyze the essay prompt to give you ideas on where to start the prompt. You cannot, however, ask AI to write you the essay itself. AI detectors are used in the application reading and analyzing process, so if you're caught, you could well be facing academic repercussions. Once you have completed a draft, proof, review, and proof again. Typos and errors can leave a bad impression and even maybe show carelessness. Go through your entire application multiple times. Read it out loud and ask others to read it out loud as well. Fresh eyes can catch a mistake that maybe you have missed. This is a tedious part of the process, and I know all you want to do is stop reading the same thing and just hit submit. I can promise you that rereading allowed me to change my mind on a few things and submit what I thought was a better essay than the one I had before. Remember, these applications may seem daunting, but know that application platforms such as Common App, Coalition, etc., you can save your changes, so you do not have to do it in one go. You can do bits and pieces at a time. Let's discuss the role of our parents and loved ones with us through this crazy process. They can be a great support system and be there for you when things get stressful. They can help proofread, provide suggestions, keep you organized, and keep you motivated. Do remember though, this is your application process, so your voice and your experiences should shine through. So, you've not only gotten everything organized for your college applications, but you have also written all of your responses and filled in your information. Now, it's time to direct your attention to that calendar with all of the deadlines and get prepared to submit. First and foremost, read your application in its entirety, through and through, all the way from your personal information to your essay responses to the final steps before you think about that submit button. When reading your essays, think about these things. What does it say about you? Imagine someone who knows nothing about you is reading it. What impression will they get? Make sure it paints a clear and comprehensive picture of who you are and what you have to offer. Next, check each component of your applications. This is especially important if you are submitting to multiple schools using the same application host. Ensure all information is accurate and tailored to each school. Double check your essays, activity lists, and any supplemental materials. If you can, try to submit your application before the deadline, at least 2 to 3 days prior to the deadline. If your state or area offers a free application day, plan to submit the applications then. Also, pro tip, try and submit in the morning. Waiting until the last minute, that 11:59 p.m., can lead to disaster. Make sure you watch to make sure your application submission works. Generally, there will be a message on the screen. You can also check the application portal to make sure they are sure the application was submitted. Remember that this can take a few minutes, so don't panic. Update your college list with the dates of your submissions. This helps you keep track of where you've applied and ensures you meet all deadlines. It's also useful for planning any follow-up actions if needed. Speaking of follow-up actions, sometimes you may need to determine if a further application is needed. You may also have a change of heart and you may decide to apply to more schools. So if you make that decision, get to it. Just know that by the time the major deadlines are approaching, that is probably not the best time to add in another last-minute school application. Be confident in your school list before moving forward and edit as you go. Don't wait till the end to make those choices. Now it's time to celebrate once you've hit submit. Completing your applications is a huge milestone. Take a moment to relax and reward yourself for all your hard work. Seriously, keep yourself busy once you submit applications. Firstly, and this is my experience, the waiting game is so hard. The more you engross yourself in school, extracurricular activities, and spending time with loved ones, the less you will dwell on this waiting game and the less you will be distracted. It's a scary part for sure, but truly take this time to work on your mental health as you get ready for the decisions to come out. And that's it. Submitting your applications is the final step, and with careful attention, you can ensure everything goes smoothly. And it doesn't have to be that scary. Thanks for joining us in this series, and best of luck with your college journey. We are always here if you need us. Remember, you've got this.